All right, the next book here. See if I can open it. Oh yeah, this is cool. Now I'm a bit late to receiving this. This is the Retro Annual 2020. I like the cover here. This is really neat. Lots of things to look at, kind of like a Where's Waldo thing. And it comes with the 8-bit episode or issue 9, which covers the ZX Spectrum. Well, let's take a look at the book. Let's see what we got here. Unlike the Zap 64 Annual 2021, you don't have any artwork here in the middle or in the back inside covers. That's cool. And we can look, we see all these games that they're covering. Ooh, on different systems. Atari, Amstrad, Commodore, Spectrum, Amiga, MSX, Nintendo GameCube, Genesis. E.T. Atari 2600, A Deeper Look by Simon Bogie. Bozo Bo. E.T. was a game that was done by Howard Scott Warshaw in the span of 5 weeks, which is an incredible achievement for the time back then. Even now, with modern tools, it would probably be very difficult to pull off in 5 weeks. And he had that deadline. He only had the 5 weeks, but he had to come up with a design. He had to get it approved by Steven Spielberg because it was based on the movie, and he had to get it programmed, and all in the span of about 5 weeks. So it's just an incredible accomplishment. And for anyone to say that this is one of the worst games on the Atari really doesn't know what they're talking about. The game, yeah, it has its pitfalls, but it has its problems, but it's definitely not a bad game. And I really like they are taking a deep dive in here. I mean, based on how many pages it is, look at this. It's a great game. It was a really great movie, and I do have a review of E.T. on my channel, or on the YouTubes. But they give it a 6. I'm assuming that's out of 10. If you look at all, I guess they're saying that the lowest score here was for audio, and then the stand power. I don't know, the stand power being a 4.5, I assume what they mean by that is how much you would want to go back and replay. But I think E.T. does have a good replayability. When you get to playing it, there's different difficulty settings, and you can go back and play again. I think it's fun, especially for the younger folks. The younger kids probably would like it a lot more. As an adult, it doesn't appeal to me anymore as much, but I was really into E.T., so I guess you could say it's more of a nostalgia thing for me. Buccaneers. It's weird when they do the fonts like that, because as cool as it is, sometimes it can be very difficult to read. I almost couldn't read that. Give it an 8.0, which is a pretty good score. Scramble, and then which Scramble is this for? Amstrad, CPC. They give it an 8.5, which is higher than that previous. Looks pretty good though. Yeah, looks really good. CPC Soccer. And then if you look, they have the up here, up on the title page, you can tell what system it is for. So they got a lot of Amstrad CPC coverage on here. So I'm going to kind of skip past that since I don't really cover Amstrad too much. Does look like a really cool system though, I have to say. Maybe I should be. Soul Force by Sarah Jane Avery, which is a side-scrolling shoot 'em up. Really good game. She's an amazing developer. Look at this. So 9.5 out of 10. That's really high praise from them. Outrage for the Commodore 64. Ooh, must be really good. 10.0. 10.0. I have never seen this one. It's another game I had never seen. Zeta Wing, another Sarah Jane Avery. This one's a vertical scroller. I'll give it another 9.5. High praise. Planet Balls. 8.0. Planet X 2.1, which I'm assuming is some sort of an update to the original game. They give it an 8.0. The best games of the last 20 years. Interesting. It's funny they're listing Galencia in here too. And that looks like Dot Cosmos. Yeah, Dot Cosmos by Shalon 50K. It's high praise from the magazine. Yeah, Rocket Smash. Prince of Persia, the 2011 port. Pains and Aches. Lots of great games here. The C64 Winter Game Development Competition. This was something I wasn't really aware of. I guess it was going on for the C64. Lots of good stuff here. The ZX Spectrum. Kind of skip past the ZX Spectrum. Ooh, that looks like a good game. Mr. Do, that's why. Yeah, Mr. Do, that's why. Looks familiar. A lot of coverage for the ZX Spectrum. The Amiga. Ooh, 9.0 for Smarty and the Nasty Gluttons. Zero Sphere 8.0. It's funny, like, so I don't know how much time that people spend on these games, but someone may have spent a year on this, and then to get a number attached to it that might be disappointing to them. You know, like this game here is a 6.5, but it could be like, you're like, man, I spent 2 years on this and I got a 6.5 on the magazine. But to me, if you did something well enough to be in the magazine, you should be proud, very proud. Now we're on to MSX. GameCube. Lots of coverage for the GameCube. Retro-inspired PC. Wrath, Aeon of Ruin. Johann Weiss. These are supposed to be retro-inspired. Mega Drive for the Genesis. Oh, and then the backers. Yeah, they got me listed here. Great Defender. So, yeah, advertisement. So anyway, this is a magazine. I wouldn't say it's as good as the Zap 64 Annual, but I do like this style of books, and I do recommend it. I think it's really cool that they're doing that, and you get all the coverage you can get. The more, the merrier, you know. And then in this case, it did come with this 8-bit issue 9, 8-bit magazine, so I'd like to take a look at that. So in here, of course, the whole thing says it's for the ZX Spectrum, so I'm assuming that that's pretty much what it's going to be covering. The ZX Spectrum Next. Oh, the Next ZX Spectrum. I haven't really checked out the ZX Spectrum Next. I assume it's something like the Mega 65, I guess, for a new reimagined hardware for the old system that's compatible with the old hardware. Taking a look at the motherboard and then some of the games. So I do like that. I do like when they create an entire magazine dedicated to one topic. It gives it focus, and then you can go in deep dive into various topics, such as in this example, the Next Basic Part 1 by Daryl Sloan. Jack Trammell. So they got an article here on Jack Trammell. Known for being a Holocaust survivor, founder of Commodore, then later as CEO and owner of the Atari consumer division. I didn't know he was a Holocaust survivor. It's amazing. And then the calculators and stuff that Commodore used to dabble in before they went on to computers. The links, the Atari links there. And it caps it off there with an article on Werewolves of London. The latest 8-bit retro news from around the world. Specky ROM. So anyway, this was a magazine. I guess this came out, or this article and the book and the magazine came out. This was for 2020, and I am just now getting my hands on it, so it is kind of late. I'm kind of a latecomer to this one, but I am going to be taking a closer look at it to check out the software and reviews and articles and stuff that I missed last year, which I should have been deep diving into during the COVID era there. So anyway, that's the Retro Annual 2020. Thanks for watching.